Hey there, my peeps. How y'all doing? Welcome to Chez Sohan. Um, I gave you a break during the weekend. We really didn't do any cooking, didn't do any exercise. However, I will tell you, because I was visiting my friend upstate, we did some hiking, and we did some swimming. So, sometimes you can't get the exercise in traditionally. Like, I'm going to sit here and do some reps of something, or I'm going to get on my machine and do some reps. Sometimes you got to just use the outdoors and parlay it into some form of exercise. And even yesterday when we got back, I was tired. I really wasn't trying to push myself beyond my limits. However, we were hungry, so we went to Trent City to get some food. I didn't have the energy to walk to Sandy's roti shop, although Sandy's, I know y'all got some great food, and I gotta hit y'all up soon. But Trent City is also one of my faves, and we walked there from my house, which is, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes or so, right? Not bad. But that's 10 minutes you didn't have to do, but you did. So it's something. And that's how you have to think when you're changing your lifestyle. I'm going to do something. I'm going to move in some way. And that starts a chain reaction, believe it or not. Taking the stairs sometimes rather than the escalator. Things like that. Start small, and these little things just make a difference in your life. Okay, so today, I'm a hot mess again, right? I'm not trying to do any of that. I'm going to do that later after I cook and clean, and then I'll deal with myself. Maybe I can get some coloring in if I'm that good, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, so today we're going to do some chicken parmesan. This is the recipe. I'm going to snap a picture of that. Very easy, simple recipe, because that's what I'm all about. And got this online. And that's what we're going to get into. Now, see, I tend to put it in one of those transparent folders and then tape it up to my cabinet. It's the easiest thing to do. It's fast and it gets the job done. You can always glance at it while you're cooking. So I have everything set up here. I cleaned the chicken with some salt and vinegar and washed it out thoroughly, so it's all clean there. I got some plain breadcrumbs, but I mixed it up with some Italian seasoning and some garlic and pepper, so that's there. And the egg. I took 2 eggs and beat them a little bit because that's what we're going to use to coat the chicken. And voila! We're going to get into it. Here's my little baking pan, my little casserole baking pan, and you can see the oven it's probably been preheating for about, 5 minutes or so to 400 degrees as the instructions say. So now the instructions tell us to combine the breadcrumbs, the Italian seasoning, which we did. That's all in there. So now all we have to do is take this chicken, dip it in the egg, dip it in the breadcrumbs, both sides, and then place it in the baking pan. Simple enough. And as you guys can see, I don't know if you can see, but I don't have a whole lot of counter space at all. I have very limited counter space. So to stretch my counter space out and utilize my kitchen in a better way, I have these huge cutting boards that I bought from a really nice jewelry store in my sister's old hood, Flushing, called Amazing Savings. But I'm sure you can get this at Jack's 99-cent store. You can get this all over the place, right? But I just throw it over the burners, and it sort of gives me more counter space, so it helps me out in that area. Anyway, here we go. My hands are washed. Don't even sweat it. So we're taking the chicken. We're dipping it in some eggs. Letting it drip out a little bit. Dipping it both sides in the breadcrumbs. Placing it nice and delicate. You don't have to be delicate, but I don't know. Because it sounds cute. Like it's a little puppy. Any which ways. This weekend I had a blast with my friend Sonia. We went up to where she works. She works and she sort of has a live-in situation where she takes care of a patient with, she's sort of like a companion, and this lady who has Alzheimer's, early setting Alzheimer's. And anyway, these people are like the other half, they are like mad rich. And so we went to there, and they're very open and very kind because, they allow her to bring her friends over, and she stays in this beautiful carriage house of theirs on the property right next to the main house. And I'm gonna post, you know, a little video of what I shot when we were over there. And my goodness, these people, first of all, very generous to open their house to, you know, the people that work for them, their guests. Very grateful to have had that experience. Property, just absolutely stunning. Large property, you can hike on it. They got a lap pool, they got a regular pool, they got a sauna. I mean, it's beautiful. Very, very beautiful. And we had such a great time. We had a beautiful time. And we stayed in the carriage house with my girl Sonia, and she just one in a million, always sharing everything that she has, including this experience. And we had a blast. She cooked for us like, you know, treated us like royalty. It was just amazing. And had the bomb diggity of times. And I really appreciated the experience. But I'm telling you, there is no place like home. I'm very glad to be home. And but I'm pretty sure that, you know, I was talking to my sailor this morning, and I was like, while I was making our regular bagel and cream cheese and coffee and tea kind of breakfast that we have every weekend, I was like, you missed that 5-star breakfast, baby. Because, you know, Sonia really, she went in. She, like, made us toast, and then omelets, and then, I don't know, hash brown, like homemade potato thing. And, it was just like off the chain. It was a lot of food, and somehow we managed to like guzzle that down. But had a blast. I mean, these people, their home, just the way they furnished it, not too much, not too little, just right. Everything had the 3 things that I always look for, that I even tried to get my little place to look like, you know. Every piece of furniture, style, form, function. The 3 things that, you know, I think are essential whenever you are decorating any space. And they had it in spades. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of overlapping here, which you probably don't want to do with chicken parmesan. So I'm going to probably get out another, baking pan, and put some of these pieces in. But we'll get to that when we get to that in a minute. Because this is the one thing I don't think overlapping is probably a good idea. So we'll, you know, I'll fix that in a second. Unfortunately, I'm not like the experts, man. They got like this whole high-tech kitchen set up, you know, and I'm doing this like one-handed. But hey, I'm having fun. I hope you guys are having fun listening to my silly stories and stuff, and just, you know, chilling out, chillaxing, and learning how to cook something. If not even learning, maybe you already know how to cook this stuff. It's really not that serious, so to speak. But yeah. Anyway, so let me just go over here and grab this other baking dish. Now my baking dishes are clean. You know, I just sort of keep them in the oven. So I just gotta rinse them out, because, you know, that's what we do. We rinse everything like, you know, there's some sort of invisible dirt going on. So we're gonna just move some of this chicken from here to here. You know, 3 pieces of it to do it. And yeah, there we go. There's gonna be two pans in the kitchen, and in the oven instead of 1. See, the chicken's looking pretty good and thick up in there. Awesome. So now the recipe calls for just pouring the sauce over all this goodness. And Lord, I hope I can do this one-handed. But all right, so we're taking the regular sauce. Oh, it's Prego, I'm sorry. Which is actually one of my favorites, Prego. I think it's more flavorful than Ragu, but you know, hey, it's everybody's choice. It's up to you what you like. Perhaps you make better sauce than this. Some people really like that, their own homemade sauce. All right, go to town. Do what you want. There are no rules. We're like Ratatouille up in this piece. There are no rules. If the rat can cook, hell, we can cook. Now I just take my fingers and I sort of spread it out. You know, cover it up, the chicken, under the sauce. Because when it bakes under the sauce, it's much better. Well, that's what you want. That's ideal. All right, so there we go with that. Now you can see all covered up under the sauce. Now what we want to do is we want to take the mozzarella, which is closed. Apparently I didn't think of everything when I was doing this video. All right, hang on one second. I'm going to open this. All right. Okay, so we open the mozzarella, and let me see if I could just sprinkle it one-handed. Just gonna, yeah, all right. You're supposed to just top it off. Your situation over here. Just top it off. Shake it up a little more, and do the same thing here. Top it off, top it off. Now, it definitely does help when you have the prep work, you know, all in place. I know there's some cheese running all over my kitchen, but don't worry, because y'all, if you know me, you know that that's not acceptable, and that will be cleaned like pronto. Now, there's about 3 pieces of chicken here. There's about 4 pieces of chicken here. Now, you figure every day you do a little bit of spaghetti, and you plop it over one of these pieces of chicken, and you got chicken. You've got 7 meals covered. Since it's Tuesday, that's 4 days, 2 meals each. Trust and believe I'll make one of these big ones work 2 days for myself, and I'll give the sailor the other ones. And that's it. This is lunch every single day for at least 4 days. 4 days out of the week, which is what we're working with today. Okay, so that's it. You take this, pop it in the oven, and what do they say? What does the recipe say? Bake 20 minutes. I gotta tell you right now, raw chicken for me in 20 minutes, not so fabulous. I don't really do that. I bake it more. So we're gonna set this bad boy for about 35 minutes. But we'll check it, because maybe I wanna, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower the degrees to 350 since I'm baking it longer, because I don't want it to burn, and I don't want all this sauce to be like burning the chicken. Okay, so that's what we got. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna plop this in. I'll take some pictures and show you the end results in about an hour or so. All right, my darlings, I will come back because we're gonna do some shrimp balls. I'm gonna do a few things first before we get into that second recipe. All right, peeps, I'll talk to you. Enjoy.